Alright, this is lesson 26. We're talking about transformations. Okay, so we're talking about geometry now. Objective 1 is to identify congruence transformations. What that means is they're transformations that don't change the size or the shape of the object. Okay, so congruence transformations don't change the size. We got three different types. A reflection is a flip. Okay, so we're going to take a shape and reflect it over a line. So it's just going to flip itself over this line right here. That's a reflection. Okay, a rotation is a turn. So we took this shape and we turned it this way. Right, we rotated it about a point. And then 3, a translation is a slide. So we're going to take this and just slide it in some direction. Okay, without turning it or twisting it at all. So those are the three different types of transformations. Now let's see how they're used. Okay, let's look at reflections more in depth. Okay, so a reflection, again, is just a mirror image. Okay, it's taking a shape and flipping it over a line. Well, we should be able to tell here that we flipped this over this line right here, the x-axis. Okay, well, when I flip the shape, the points A, B, and C should be the same distance from my flipping line right here as their corresponding points. So A and A prime should be the same distance from this line. B and B prime should be the same distance from this line. And C prime should be the same distance from this line, which you should be able to tell they are. Okay, A is 1, 2, 3, 4 away from the x-axis, and A prime is 1, 2, 3, 4 away from the x-axis. So, if I'm going to describe what we did here, we are reflecting triangle ABC over the x-axis. Okay? So notice what we did. I told what I did. I reflected. I told what I reflected, the triangle ABC. And over what line? Over the x-axis right here. Okay? If I reflected it over line CB, then I would say I reflected over line CB. But I'm reflecting over the x-axis. Alright, so that's how we talk about reflections. Let's move on to rotations. Again, when we talk about rotations, we're talking about spinning, okay, or turning. So I'm going to turn my triangle about a point. Now I can turn it about a point on the triangle, so like I could just take it and spin it over B, okay, where B doesn't move, I just spin the shape itself. Okay, or I can take it and turn it around a point that's outside. So here, we're going to rotate this shape around point D. So point D doesn't move, and I'm going to rotate my triangle around. Now some things you need to know about rotations. If I rotate counterclockwise, that is a positive rotation. And if I rotate clockwise, that's a negative rotation. Okay? So again, we need to be able to describe this. So I am rotating triangle ABC. Okay? Now which way am I rotating it? Here's triangle ABC. I'm rotating it to the left, so that's a positive. Now to figure out how many degrees you do this, okay, you should be able to connect your points that go together. So like B and B prime should connect with point D. Okay? Now, I'm going to guess on this. Usually it'll be pretty easy to tell. I'll say this is about 90 degrees. So I'm rotating triangle ABC 90 degrees. And we're going to say about point D. Okay? When I say about, that means that's the point I'm spinning it about. So I'm turning it about point D. And if you notice, B and B make about a 90-degree angle. I could also draw a line from A to D and then to A prime. And that should be about 90 degrees. Or C to D and then up to C prime should be about 90 degrees. Okay? Any one of those should have the same angle for a rotation. If I would have spun it the other way, then it would have been negative 90 degrees. Okay, but I spun it counterclockwise, so it's positive 90 degrees. Alright, and let's talk about the last one, translations. Okay, and then again, translations are slides, okay? So we're just going to take this shape and slide it in some direction, okay? Well, this one you can tell we slid down and over, so we got to tell how far down we moved it and how far to the right we moved it. So the best way to do that is to just pick one of the points, like let's pick point A, and tell how I move from point A to point A prime, because that should be the same as how I move from B to B prime or C to C prime. Okay? Well, if I go from A to A prime, I've got to move down 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're moving down 3. And then I'm moving to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm moving down 3 and right 5. Okay, so I'm translating down 3 and to the right 5. Yeah, that should be the same from B to B. If I go down 1, 2, 3 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I get to B prime. And with C, go down 1, 2, 3 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I get to C prime. Doesn't change. Alright, now let's take a look at these all three kind of together. Alright, so here's an example where we have to be able to put these things all together. Okay? It says describe the transformations that move triangle ABC to the location of triangle A triple prime, B triple prime, C triple prime. What the primes tell you, there's 3 of them. That tells you we're going to have to do 3 moves. Okay, 3 transformations to get from here to here. Alright. Well, I'm going to go ahead and use some colors to help us color code this a little bit. So, here's my beginning triangle right here, ABC. Okay? Well, we should notice, first of all, that when we get over here, okay, this side isn't the same length as this side anymore. Okay, something happened here, and this side is shorter than this side. Alright? Also, we don't have AC right here anymore. We got BC. Okay? Well, what that tells us is our B and C are over here now. That means we're going to have to reflect this shape so that B and C are over on this side. So I got C here and B over here. So on the next slide, we're going to show that we're going to reflect this shape. Okay, so here we see our original shape, ABC, has been reflected, okay, to A prime, B prime, C prime. So what I'm going to say, and I'm going to actually outline our new shape in blue now. Okay, then we need to tell what we did. We reflected triangle ABC over, and I need to tell what line I reflected it over. Well, it's over this line right here. That was line AC. Okay, so over line AC. So made a reflection. Alright, now with our new shape, we're looking at the blue here. That's our new shape. Now look at this, our shape has spun. So this side right here is over here now. Alright, and C looks like it kind of stayed in the same place, and B moved itself upward. Okay, so that's going to be a rotation. We're taking this and spinning it back this way. Alright, we'll show that on the next slide. Okay, so this blue is the shape as we had now, and we need to spin it so that it's facing this way. So our B needs to spin to the top. So that's what we're showing here, is we're going around point C, and we're spinning this. Okay, we're spinning it counterclockwise. So that's a positive turn. Alright, so I'm going to spin it to this green part right here. Okay, so I'm going to rotate, and now the triangle is A prime, B prime, C prime. We need to tell how many degrees, okay, and what point we rotate it over. Well, C stays the same, so we're rotating it over point C. So let's look at how this rotates here. Let's follow point B's path from B prime to B double prime here. It goes up this way and over that way. That's a 90-degree angle, okay? So we are rotating this 90 degrees about point C. Okay? So again, if I connect the two B's together, they make a 90-degree angle. Same thing with the A's. They would connect right here. That would be a 90-degree angle. Alright? Now let's see how we go from the green shape to our last shape here. Alright, so now we got our green shape here. You can ignore this little arrow right there. So we got our green shape. Okay, we've done our two transformations. Now we got to do the third one. Okay, and if you look, our shape is already facing the correct way. Okay, we got A, C, and B right here, and A, C, and B, so it looks the same. That means we just need to slide it. Okay, so we're going to slide it, and it's going to go up and over this way. Okay, well, we need to tell how much we slid it. So remember, that's called a translation. So we're going to translate triangle, and now it's A double prime, B double prime, C double prime. We need to tell how much. Well, let's look at how we get from A to A. Okay? I've got to move to get from A to A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to the right and 1 up. So I got to go 8 to the right and 1, I should say 8 units right and 1 unit up. Okay, so we're translating triangle A double prime, B double prime, C double prime, 8 units to the right and 1 unit up to get to our new triangle. Okay, and that completes our transformation. That gets us to the right spot here. And most normally, if you have 3 transformations, then they'll go in that order. You will reflect first, rotate second, and translate third. Okay, normally, not always though. All right. And let's go on to about 2 more examples.